So you may have been told by your doctor that tinnitus is forever, but there are some scientific studies that might give you some hope on things that you can do. Basically, it comes down to diet, inflammation, and blood flow. So we need to optimize those for your ears, and I'm going to give to some details on exactly how to do that. So, of course, the first step in managing tinnitus is to consult your doctor, rule out any underlying conditions that might be causing it. But if medical options have already been exhausted, there are some other things that you can try. So recent studies show that some dietary changes, certain physical activity, like spinal alignment, can influence your tinnitus symptoms. So there's simple things like nutrients like vitamin B12, vitamin D, and fiber, and even caffeine have some promising effects. So let's start with vitamin B12, especially important. It helps maintain your nerve health, and deficiency has been linked to tinnitus in several studies. So research suggests that B12 supplements may help some individuals with tinnitus, especially if your B12 levels are low. If you eat a lot of meat, you're probably fine on your B12, but if you don't, just take some supplements or nutritional yeast. So caffeine, it used to be thought that this made tinnitus worse, but when they did a randomized clinical trial, they showed that 300 milligrams of caffeine did not worsen tinnitus symptoms and actually even improved it. And so then another study showed that moderate caffeine intake reduced tinnitus by risk by up to 35%. I will show all the links to all the studies in the description below. So then vitamin D also plays a role. A 2022 genetic study from the University of South Australia found a direct link between vitamin D levels and high inflammation markers, suggesting supplementation could reduce inflammation and possibly reduce your tinnitus. There's also posture and alignment really matter a lot. A lot of your neck and all these things, they're all affect your ears. So simple stretches and ergonomic adjustments. I will show you how to do that to yourself. The chiropractor is, not only is it controversial, but it also, takes work and money. So I show you how to do some. I will talk about how you can do some stuff in your own home. So really exercise your back. Do some back exercises. Make sure you get your back at the lower back. Muscles worked on, your mid back, and your upper back, as well as your shoulders and your neck. So, you can just lay on the floor and lift your legs for, set the timer for 2 minutes, and then lift your, shoulders for 2 minutes off the floor. And then, do some, the 2 minutes with your hands held back. That will get your upper shoulders. And then, lift both the back and the upper at the same time for another 2 minutes. Just set the timer and lift them both at the same time. That'll help get your mid back. Or better yet, go to the gym. But if you don't have the gym, I'm talking about how to do it in your home. As well as laying on your bed. I recommend laying on your bed every morning for 5 minutes on your stomach, on your elbows. You can look at your cell phone for 5 minutes, whatever it takes, but lay there for 5 minutes and really stretch your neck back a little bit. I mean, you obviously don't want to put it at a bad angle, but I'm saying to counteract the fact that we do look down at our screens during the day, which can actually, put your neck out of alignment. We're going to do the backward action of it, and maybe kind of move your back. If you can feel it, maybe I actually feel mine pop in. When I do that 5 minutes every morning, will help you to help your keep your neck in alignment. And then also there's reducing sodium is often recommended for heart health, but if you have tinnitus, you might actually have to mess with that a little bit. Some strategic use of salt and electrolytes can actually support your circulation and hydration, and that could help your tinnitus, especially if you have naturally low blood pressure or are following low carb diets. So the electrolytes like sodium and potassium and magnesium, they really help to regulate fluid balance and nerve signaling and muscle function. When these are out of balance, blood flow can really suffer, potentially affecting inner ear function and tinnitus perception. So just, you can take electrolyte pills, you can add salt like Himalayan salt to your meals, or just use electrolyte supplements during exercise or hot weather, or just every morning. That can improve your vascular tone and oxygen delivery, which improves your tinnitus. Magnesium in particular has been studied for its role in reducing tinnitus due to its calming effect on the nervous system and an influence on blood vessel and dilation. So it's always balance is key. Too much raises your blood pressure too much, but too little can impair your circulation. Work with your doctor if you need to, or your nutritionist, to find the right balance for you. Try a few different things, right? If any of this is helpful, like and subscribe. I will continue to upload videos about tinnitus, the research and tips that can help. Exercise is another pillar of tinnitus management. Regular physical activity improves artery health and increases that blood flow, which supports the inner ear function and helps to reduce the inflammation. But not exercise is equal when it comes to tinnitus. So you really want to boost the circulation. You need to get that blood flow going. So you need short bursts of higher intensity movement, enough to get your heart rate up for like 10 to 15 minutes at a time. That could be really brisk walking, some cycling, swimming, or resistance training. The key is low impact intensity activities that elevate your pulse without jolting your body or your head, which could aggravate your tinnitus. So think like elliptical machines or water aerobics or interval style walking. The goal is to energize your cardiovascular system while keeping your inner ear stable and supported. So an unstable inner ear could be contributing to your tinnitus. So there are a lot of conditions, which is why it's important to go to your doctor, like Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, EDS. It's where a group of genetic connective tissue disorders where the collagen is weakened, leading to hyperextension in all of your joints and all of your, hyperextension of your body. Basically, it can even lead to some drooping of the face. So it can also lead some drooping of the inner ear, causing tinnitus. So you don't want to jolt your head. So it's a little bit about fragile tissues, very flexible joints. So, for example, if you can put your hands flat on the floor when you're doing a bending over at the hip, you might want to go see your doctor about it. It's this hyperflexibility, but there's not a lot the doctor really can do about it. But it's good for them to know. But you can, not purposefully stretch or not purposely jolt your head around if you've got tinnitus. So another often overlooked factor in managing your tinnitus is ear hygiene. Simple buildup of earwax can contribute to or worsen your tinnitus symptoms by creating pressure in the inner ear, the ear canal. There's over-the-counter eardrops or home irrigation kits. They're available. I have personally never found them helpful at all. In some cases, they can even not be helpful to other people too. They've shown that they can actually, unfortunately, push the wax deeper or irritate the ear or even cause vertigo if the water in the ear becomes an issue. So that's why it's worth to really consider professional ear cleaning. Visit your doctor audiologist for regular ear examinations, and cleaning ensures that your ear canal remains really clear and healthy. Sometimes even the local Walgreens or Minute Clinic have ear cleaning as a service that might be covered by your insurance. They are looking inside your ear to as they do it, to make sure that they're actually improving the situation. So this alone, for some people, can really reduce the intensity of tinnitus or eliminate it if wax buildup was the issue. So I do not suggest ear candling. The reason is that research shows that not only does it put fire embers really close to your ear canal, but also people, when they look into the ear for ear candling, they found that the wax isn't actually removed. The wax that is shown on the paper at the end of an ear candling session is typically from the candle itself. So just go to a professional, get it done there, is much safer. There's other things you can do as well. There's a study reported on fruit and veggies for vascular health. They found that for every 200 grams of additional fruits and veggies per day, they reduce the risk of cardiovascular issues by 8% and 28% in reduction if they ate 800 grams more fruits and veggies daily. So the thing about the inner ears is that it's closely tied to auditory function, and that might help to mitigate your tinnitus. So you have to kind of, experiment on yourself. But here's the key. Tinnitus can also be influenced by food sensitivities. So you have to be careful about the fruits and veggies that you add. And the elimination diet can really help to work on this because it's different for every individual. Elimination diet is basically a way to identify the potential triggers for you just by eliminating the foods that might be a trigger, right? It's just like you limit your food intake to something that's a really neutral food like rice, and you do that for a day, and then gradually add one food at a time and monitor the changes in your symptoms. So some people suggest waiting several days. or even weeks between the reintroductions to fully observe the effects. And I'll make a whole new video about elimination diets because it's much more complex than I can really say in this video without taking all day. But basically, you just add some foods, wait a day, what happened to your tinnitus, you know, and then remove it for a day, put it back in. What happens, right? There's so many variables that it's really helpful to test any specific trigger foods multiple times back and forth to see if the results are consistent, right? By removing some common dietary irritants. It's different for everybody, but maybe for you, it's a certain fruit, a certain vegetable, leafy greens, broccoli, dairy, gluten, processed sugars. Is different for different people. That's why even different amounts of caffeine. Some people more is better. Some people less is better. Or even sodium. Sometimes more is better. Sometimes less is better. You have to just keep a detailed record of all of your reactions. This process can help you tailor your lifestyle to better manage your tinnitus symptoms. And also, research suggests that managing your weight and body composition, like obesity and body fat percentage and muscle mass, really influences your tinnitus risk and severity. So maintaining a healthier weight and balanced muscle to fat ratio can actually lessen your tinnitus symptoms. But actually, there's some really good research done on this. There's a research that shows that a higher waist circumference and body fat levels have a higher risk of tinnitus. This shows a correlation, but also there was a study in the Clinical Nutrition ESPEN showed that actually that they showed the reduction of tinnitus symptoms with diet when the weight was reduced, right? So it's not just a correlation, but they actually showed a little bit possible cause and effect there. That actually losing weight may reduce your tinnitus. So all the links will be in the description below. And then there's also a link between tinnitus and being underweight. So you don't want to be underweight either. Height and weight charts are fantastic. They're all over the internet. And if you have a lot of muscle mass or some other condition where you might not be typical on the height and weight chart, just go see your doctor, get the appropriate height and weight, healthy weight for you. So I think that pretty much summarizes it. There's a lot of different things, and I'll go through each one of these in a separate video. So like and subscribe to get more updates and more in-depth information about how the studies have been done, what studies have been done, and how that can affect you and what you can do about it to lessen your tinnitus. So if your doctor's path has ended, you try that, you start your own. Repeat. I want to repeat again what I said at the beginning, that the 3 keys are really to increase your blood flow, keep your body weight and healthy, and monitor your diet for any triggers. Just really eat nutrient-rich foods, nothing processed. Get really great high-intensity, short bouts of high-intensity exercise. Keep records of the level of your tinnitus in response to each of these. And I'll include the sources. If this was helpful, like and subscribe. Thank you.